Welcome to an episode of Technology for Independence with George Myers and Chris Cooley. Today we're going to be looking at the Ohio Tech Ambassadors Network, so stay tuned. Welcome to an episode of Technology for Independence with George Myers, a grant director with the Ohio Tech Ambassadors Network, and Chris Cooley, Tech Ambassador. You know, it's been my experience that many individuals have many difficulties in today's life. However, it's what we do and how we overcome these differences that truly defines who we are. And we have two gentlemen that have used technology to overcome disabilities. And I wanted to introduce George Myers and Chris Cooley, who are going to be talking about independence through technology. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on and speaking about the program.
Thanks
Ambassadors Network. And let's start with George Myers. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, and how you're helping individuals?
I'll try to make this brief. Thank you for having us. I'm George Myers. My daytime job is the IT director for the Ross County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And I've gotten the great privilege during the last 3 years to also have what's almost become a second job as the grant director for the Ohio Tech Ambassadors. So, in this position, what I'm helping to do is to organize all sorts of activities that our team of 8 tech ambassadors does all over the state of Ohio, some virtual, some in-person events. We join other folks' events to just have them talk about their lives, what technologies they use in their everyday life, what opportunities it affords them that they might not otherwise have.
Thank you, George. How about you, Chris? Tell the listening audience some things about you.
Hi, my name is Chris Cooley. I'm from Portsmouth, Ohio, and I've been an advocate for a very long time for people with disabilities, development disabilities, advocating for independence, accessibility, trying to bring accessibility to our community, allowing them to know how important it is for us to live independent, be able to travel independent, be able to go out in our community and enjoy our community independently. And back in 2016, I had passed a bill for Ohio Service Dog Awareness Week, bringing awareness about service dogs. And then about 3 years ago, I was able, I had the opportunity to come on board of Ohio Tech Ambassador Program. And this Ohio Tech Ambassador Program became a great thing in my life because I was able to reach out and show people how technology and remote support can help us live independent and be able to enjoy our community independently, and just be able to enjoy life independently.
I think that is very good. So what kind of disabilities, if I'm using the term correctly, encompasses the tech ambassadors?
We have folks from all backgrounds, many types of disabilities represented, some, and some of our folks, those are significant, physical limitations, but they really take all forms.
When you work with individuals, how do they know that you're available for assistance?
We have our website, and we are represented on social media and on YouTube. I've got a slide mentioning that here in just a minute. So briefly, I just want to mention a little bit more detail about what our program is. So this was actually a grant project commissioned by the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities 4 years ago now. The whole notion is that we were going to find adults who are passionate about technology in their everyday lives across the state of Ohio who were there to provide what they called peer mentoring for people all over the state. So we put together a team. We have 8 tech ambassadors now. Like I said, these are passionate users of technology, and they're eager to talk about the difference that it makes for them. So we hold our own events all around the state. Some of those are virtual and some in person. Here's just a quick shot of all of the people on our team there. If you look at the character all the way to your left, that is going to be Chris, who you will hear from a lot today. Just briefly wanted to mention that we have a couple of in-person events coming up, actually. One on May 9th in Akron, one on June 15th in Columbus. And we may have some virtual events that folks can attend as well. You can always find our event calendar at ohiotechambassadors.org/events. So since we mentioned where they can find us a little bit, there's our website. There's several things folks can do there. You can request an ambassador to come to one of your events or meet with them. You can provide us feedback on any interaction that you have with us. You can register for our events and find other resources out there. So we're on both Facebook and Instagram as well. You just search for Ohio Tech Ambassadors and you'll find those social media pages really quickly. Same with YouTube. You can either search Ohio Tech Ambassadors or you can find our channel. There's the actual link to it. And we got 2 playlists out there, one for our events, which are, an hour, and then one for much shorter videos that are individual tech demos, one of which we're going to use as we talk with Chris here.
So when you mention disabilities, etc., what specific disabilities have you found very prevalent and in need of tech ambassadors?
It is really hard to pin that down to a list. The folks that we've talked to really encompass almost any kind of intellectual or developmental disability that you can imagine. Maybe there are folks for whom technology, is not very helpful. We have not found a whole lot of those situations. We've found that most folks are able to at least use some technology to gain even a little bit more independence. And in some folks, it makes all the difference in the world between them even being able to live on their own. I'm guessing Chris might tell you that he's in that category.
I lived in Columbus for a while, and I started making friends and thought, well, if I make friends and become friends with their friends, and I'll be more independent. I'll be able to get out, do more. I'll be able to, do a lot of fun things. But not to knowing that these friends that I have made became friends that were taking advantage of my home, taking advantage of money situation, different things like that, and doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And I had to figure out a way to get away from that. And so it allowed me to move back to Portsmouth, Ohio, with my friends that are here and my family that are here to help me. And I wanted to be back on my own, live on my own again, because I was staying with my mom. Because when I moved back here, I stayed with my mom for a while to get my mental health back in order, get my life back together. And so I wanted to live on my own. And I became involved with Scioto County Board of Development Disability, and they started helping me. And I got me a house, and I was able to come and look at it and be able to sit here and think about, living on my own again, and I had the fear of, bad things happening again, how to stop it, not allow that to happen. And those fears became a big fear. And my my service coordinator, SSA, he came to me and he said, Chris, we have a program now in Saturday County called Safe and Home and remote support team, remote support. And I looked into that remote support and I thinking to myself, I don't want cameras, I don't want people looking in on me and all this kind of stuff. And so as I'm sitting there thinking about it, I had to remind myself, do I want to be on my own or still live with my mom? And so I decided that I would try remote support. And remote support became a big thing in my life because it gave me the opportunity to not worry about who's outside or who's going to come and take advantage. I have a team that is remotely support, and they know everything about me. They help me throughout the day, plan my day, plan activities, and make sure I'm having a good day. And then a year later, there was the governor had gave out grants for Ohio Tech Ambassador Program, and they were looking for people. And I thought, because remote support gave me back my independence, allowed me to live in my own home without worrying about things happening, and allowing me to be independent in my community, why not get connected with Ohio Tech Ambassador Program and become a tech ambassador and help and show others with multiple disabilities that they can live independent. We have the power to live independent, and technology and remote support can help you in so many ways to live independent.
Can I ask what your disability is?
My disability, I am legally blind and legally deaf.
Okay. And I noticed that even though you're legally deaf and legally blind, you can see and you can hear things?
I can do. There's sometimes I can see I can see big things, bright colors. My hearing, it just fluctuates depending on the sound, what kind of room am I in, it echoes. Sometimes I may have to ask for an interpreter to come and help me in some situations. And so yes, I can hear and I can see a little bit. Being legally blind and deaf doesn't mean you're totally. It means you can see some and hear some.
I would imagine being legally blind at nighttime, it would be very difficult.
It does make a big difference. Being legally blind can, if I don't have enough lighting, I wouldn't be able to see. And a lot of times, if I'm not in the area where I know where things are, then I may fall over them, may run into a wall. That I mean, I've not been there before, so I don't know where everything is. But if I'm comfortable of where I am and know where things are, then I can get around at night. And I also, use the ability of a service dog that helps me from Pilot Dogs in Columbus, Ohio. They, provide guide dogs for the blind, and I use her a lot in the dark. And it is difficult sometimes.
How has George, the Tech Ambassadors Network program, helped Chris?
Well, I think Chris would probably be the best person to answer that question. But I do think across the board, most of our tech ambassadors would say they are there to provide the help rather than to be helped. But that just the association with other people, who also love technology I know Chris tells the story that he felt like he needed to go out and buy a few things that some of our other tech ambassadors were using when we first got the program started. Well, give some examples, Chris.
Well, you know, a lot of us with development disabilities and without development disabilities use Alexa a lot. And you know, that's been a big technology part of many people's lives. And so here in you know, being a tech ambassador, I really found that, you know, there's a microwave you could buy that it connects to Alexa, an air fryer you could buy to connect to Alexa, and you know, coffee pots. You know, I really love those because I can, if I can't see the numbers on the microwave, I can say, "Hey Alexa, turn the microwave on for 5 minutes," and then she will do that. And then the coffee pot, if I can't see or if I'm just sitting around and don't want to get up and push a button, I can say, "Alexa, push the button for me." But even if someone that may have multiple disabilities, you know, hand movements, if they can't use their hands, Alexa will come in to play and help with that. That way, they're still independent, but they're still using technology at the same time.
You're mentioning a number of different things that we take for granted. You know, when our power is out, it takes about a day or two to stop us from going into a dark room and flipping on the light switch because we're so used to these little conveniences. You know, you're mentioning the fact that limited sight means you're limited on some of the modern conveniences that we have.
You are right. You know, sometimes you know, that does play a role. I hear a lot of people when the power goes out, I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, get flashlights. Well, we need to get candles out. You know, what are we gonna do?" And I'm sitting there thinking, you know, I'm used to it. I can get around. I can get around without the electric. I don't need it. And most of us with multiple disabilities, no matter what kind it may be, we adapt to different things to help us be able to, let's just say, someone with autism, that if the power goes out, they're used to watching TV, you know, the little cartoon shows. Well, if the power goes out, you don't have that luxury to watch those little cartoons anymore. And so now they have an extra iPhone laying around that they just go to and be able to, you know, use their technology by iPhone and be able to adapt to that and not get so excited over the electric out, the power's out. Oh, I have it. I have adapted technology that will help me when that happens.
Yeah, one of the things we find ourselves saying really often in events to people is that many of the technologies that you know, the average person uses for convenience sake, even some of these modern things like Alexa, you know, I may not feel like walking to the wall to flip the switch, so I just say it. For people with certain types of disabilities, those are game changers. Those are things that, again, may allow them to live on their own when they would not otherwise be able to do that.
That is very true. It's my understanding you have a video you want to play.
I want to show you something that can help people with different disabilities. It's a recorder and it can help you in many ways. Like, I go to the store, I'm gonna ask the person to help me find things. My list here. Hi, my name is Mark. Can you please help me find things on my list? I need a little help. Thank you. if I want to change it, I can. I could just record. Hi, my name is Peter. Can you please help me find things on my list?
Hi, my name is Peter. Can you please help me find things on my list?
All right, we'll pause for just a second. Chris is now going to show you an app that he uses on his phone called Seeing AI, which is really neat.
Now, an app called Blind Square.
Yep.
Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And I could push it. It'll open up.
Places within radius of 25 meters.
Like
632 Robinson Avenue. Give a search term.
I could go to Family Dollar.
Wait a moment. Searching for Family Dollar. Found 35 places within a distance of 180 meters to 14.7 kilometers.
Here it is.
Yeah, so I could pick a Family Dollar and go, and it'll tell me.
That's where we're going, right?
Yeah, it'll tell me from what near me every step I take.
All right. What's the first thing it tells you to do?
It's telling me to go left, but
20 meters. Lincoln Street and Robinson Avenue.
it's telling me what street.
Okay.
It's telling me what street it is.
What street did it say?
It said Lincoln Street.
But is that where you're going to turn? Or is that where you are?
Now that's where I am.
Okay. There's no traffic signal here?
Now,
Wow.
so because there's no traffic signal, I can use my little thing that says, please help me cross the street. Tap me on the shoulder. This could be used for multiple disabilities.
Please help me to cross the street. Tap me on the shoulder if you can help me.
So talk about what disabilities this can help, besides someone who is blind or deaf.
So, someone that's not deaf and blind, if you have autism, you have fear of crossing a heavy street with a lot of traffic, this could be good. Anything. It could be because if someone doesn't see the sign, they can hear it. So I'm at Family Dollar, and I kind of just need a little bit of help. And when I say a little bit of help, meaning I just don't understand the layout of the store, or I get nervous, or if I'm nonverbal, is a good way to get help.
Hi, my name is Peter. Can you please help me find things on my list? I need Pepsi and coffee.
Okay, so now I've already asked those questions. Now I'm wait on her reply.
Oh, I'll definitely be able to help you.
Okay, speak.
Pepsi $190. Two.
So $1.90. Because it don't have a dot. So it told me that that's a Pepsi.
Yeah.
So if I didn't really believe what she told me, then I could use the Seeing IA app, and it'll just tell me
Pepsi. Pay.
Pepsi.
Got it.
All right. So I'll find the next thing on my list.
So it's just a phone call.
Hey Chris, how's it going, man?
Hey, I am in an alley and my GPS stopped working. I was wondering if you guys can help me get home safely with the GPS.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you located at right now?
I'm not sure what alley this is. I came from Family Dollar on 11th Street. So this could be used, my in-home support team. You see the others that are on TV that are advertised for emergencies, but my in-home support team knows who I am, knows everything about me, and can help me if I have a breakdown or if I get nervous. They can talk to me and work me to my way back home. And so that's why a lot of times we don't have staff. You know, we want to be independent. You know, we want to be able to feel that independent. And so when we go out there, outside, go shopping, you know, we have our support team with us all the time, and they know everything. If we need to take medicine, they can still call us on this and tell us to take medicine.
I think that is fantastic. The different adaptive devices that you have available. We're talking with George Myers. George Myers is a grant director with the Ohio Tech Ambassadors Network, and Chris Cooley, who's a tech ambassador. And look for part 2 of the series, Technology for Independence.